Mama Joe, them daughters are looking good too. Oh, especially that Lady Bird. Lady Bird, I was teasing with that little Lady Mama. I said, would you marry the Reverend? She's a Reverend. If I marry, I got to have sex every night. These hands is open for business. Hey, to me. I can explain.
Explain it to the fat end of my baseball.
You don't walk it. You wrong. You walking by yourself this time, pal. I ain't with you. I'll tell you one thing. You better never let Jesse Jackson hear you talking about that. What they did, we didn't get paid. Yes, they were saying was in show business during that time, so I didn't make no money, but we had a whole lot of fun.
You've seen Carl Wright 1,000 times, but probably never knew his name. The hilarious Reverend in Soul Food.
Beautiful breasts and delicious legs on the table.
The scene stealing barber and barbershop.
You know you wrong. Keep on walking. You wrong. You walking by yourself this time, pal. I ain't with you. I'll tell you one thing. You better never let Jesse Jackson hear you talking about that.
The unforgettable Mr. Raleigh in Big Mama's house.
Oh, there's my sugar. Oh.
While Hollywood's biggest stars collected Oscars and magazine covers, this Florida-born comedy genius was quietly becoming the secret weapon that made every movie he touched instantly funnier.
Hey, Mama, you didn't tell me you had a man.
Shell, I ain't got no man. Why, she got every man in this town slipping around like a bunch of dogs.
But behind those memorable one-liners and perfect comedic timing was a man who spent decades fighting for recognition in an industry that loved his talent but never bothered to learn his story.
For what, Willie? No, Willie, it's not like that. No, I'm sorry now. No, Willie, I don't care what Mr. Span told you. This bread, bless this meat, and bless my stomach, cause the house gonna eat.
Amen.
Born in Orlando, Florida in 1932, Carl Wright grew up in a city where entertainment meant jazz clubs, blues joints, and the kind of underground comedy scene that bred legends. In 1954, he married Shirley Wright, and they had 3 children. He was a professional tap dancer by the age of 16 and made a living touring around the world, and for a time performed as the three-leggers with a one-legged partner. Carl caught the bug early, grinding in the city's comedy and theater scene for decades before most people knew his face. What made Carl special was his ability to bring authenticity to every role. When he played a reverend, you believed he'd actually delivered Sunday sermons. When he played a barber, you could practically smell the pomade and hear the neighborhood gossip. This wasn't method acting. This was lived experience translating into pure entertainment gold. His breakthrough into film came later in life, making his success even more remarkable. 1997's Soul Food marked a turning point, though most audiences still didn't know his name. Playing Reverend Williams, Carl delivered cinema's most memorable blessing scenes, adding warmth and humor to serious family dynamics. What audiences saw was a man who understood the rhythm of family gatherings and how humor lightens heavy moments. Carl wasn't just acting, he was channeling decades of real-life experience with family dynamics, church gatherings, and community connections. Success in Soul Food opened doors that had been closed to character actors for decades. Suddenly, casting directors were looking for that guy from Soul Food to bring authenticity and humor to other projects.
We used to always have eating contests, which the Reverend would always win. Then he split after he busted slobs with my mom and Unnies.
By 2002, Carl Wright had mastered the art of stealing scenes without stealing focus. In Barbershop,
I don't know a real picture. That sweetness all right. You a fool. I don't even know what I feel to.
playing Checkers Fred, he became part of an ensemble that would define early 2000s comedy. His contribution to the film's controversial but hilarious discussion about historical figures showed his ability to handle sensitive material with both respect and humor. What made Carl's performance in Barbershop so effective was his understanding that comedy often comes from truth. His character wasn't just delivering punchlines, he was representing the voice of an older generation trying to make sense of changing times while still finding reasons to laugh. This wasn't just acting, this was social commentary wrapped in perfect comedic timing. The Barbershop setting was perfect for Carl's talent, because it mirrored the Chicago community spaces where he'd probably spent decades observing human behavior. Barbershops, like jazz clubs and blues joints, are places where people come to talk, argue, philosophize, and most importantly, laugh. Carl understood this environment in his bones.
Eddie, hey, you ain't going too goddamn far now.
His ability to hold his own alongside Ice Cube and Cedric the Entertainer proved that Carl wasn't just a supporting player, He was a master craftsman who could adapt his style to work with any generation of performer. Comedy legends recognized real talent when they saw it. Playing Ben Raleigh in Big Mama's House showcased another dimension of Carl's range. As the slightly lecherous but ultimately harmless elderly neighbor, Carl walked the fine line between creepy and endearing that only skilled character actors can navigate successfully.
Hey, to me. I can explain.
Explain it to the fat end of my baseball bat.
What's remarkable about Carl's performance in Big Mama's House is how he managed to make a potentially problematic character likable. In less skilled hands, Mr. Raleigh could have been offensive or uncomfortable to watch, but Carl brought a childlike innocence to the role that made audiences laugh at the character rather than at him.
You look different. Different?
You know, I said the same thing.
That face and those eyes.
This role demonstrated Carl's understanding of comedy archetypes while avoiding stereotypes. He was playing a type that audiences recognized, the horny old man, but he was doing it with such genuine charm that it felt fresh and authentic rather than tired and offensive. Working with Martin Lawrence, Carl proved he could hold his own with A-list comedy stars while maintaining his own distinctive style. He wasn't trying to match Lawrence's high-energy approach. Instead, he provided the perfect low-key counterpoint that made both performances more effective.
Shell, I ain't got no man. Why, she got every man in this town sniffing around like a bunch of dogs. I do? Do I smell some greens?
One of the most fascinating aspects of Carl Wright's career was his connection to Chicago's rich entertainment history. In 1994, he appeared alongside radio legend Richard Stams and host Purvis Spann on Blues and More, providing insights into the entertainment world that shaped him.
But it ain't no fun no more today unless you got some money. And these youngsters, I'm glad so much happily for them. They're making money for what they're doing.
This interview reveals the depth of Carl's connection to Chicago's cultural scene. He wasn't just an actor who happened to be from Chicago. He was part of the city's entertainment ecosystem, connected to the musicians, radio personalities, and performers who defined the city's cultural identity for decades.
I want to tell you this too, Mr. Wright. 2 is always better than 1.
Yeah, 2 of the same kind.
Understanding Carl's Chicago roots explains his authenticity in every role. He wasn't studying characters from books or movies. He was drawing from a lifetime of observing real people in real situations. The barbershop customers, church congregants, and neighborhood characters he played weren't acting exercises. They were people he'd known his entire life. His ability to seamlessly blend into ensemble casts while maintaining his distinctive voice came from years of performing in Chicago's collaborative entertainment scene, where individual ego took a backseat to collective success. Carl Wright's final film role came in 2004's The Cookout, where he played Grandpa in what would be his last opportunity to make audiences laugh.
It's my bad. I'm coming to get you. I'm going to get you.
Though the film wasn't a major success, it represented the culmination of a career spent bringing joy to audiences who often didn't even know his name. The fact that Carl was still working and still bringing his A game to roles in 2004 speaks to his professionalism and passion for the craft. Even in his 70s, when many actors are content to coast on past success, Carl was still looking for ways to make people laugh and connect with audiences. His 2007 interview at Circle Cinema in Tulsa captured a man reflecting on a lifetime in entertainment, sharing stories and insights that provide a window into both his personal journey and the broader evolution of American comedy. What emerges from these later interviews is a picture of someone who understood his place in entertainment history, not as a leading man or major star, but as a crucial component in the machinery that makes great comedy work. Carl was the character actor's character actor, the guy who made everyone else look better while rarely getting credit for his contributions. ones. Carl Wright passed away on May 19, 2007 due to cancer at the age of 75, leaving behind a legacy that most people still don't fully appreciate. He died having appeared in some of the most beloved comedies of his era, having made millions of people laugh, and having earned the respect of everyone who worked with him. But here's what's truly tragic about Carl Wright's story. He represents hundreds of character actors who spent decades perfecting their craft, contributing to cinematic classics and bringing joy to audiences without ever getting the recognition they deserved. While Hollywood obsesses over leading men and red carpet glamour, guys like Carl were doing the real work of making movies memorable. The clips we've seen today represent just a fraction of Carl's contributions to American entertainment. For every memorable scene we can point to, there are probably dozens more where his presence elevated the material in ways that audiences felt but couldn't quite identify. His story raises uncomfortable questions about how Hollywood values talent and who gets remembered when the credits roll. Carl Wright made every project better, but how many people actually know his name? How many obituaries mention his passing? How many film schools study his techniques? The biggest tragedy isn't that Carl Wright never became a household name, it's that his story represents a system that consistently undervalues the people who do the hardest work. Character actors like Carl build the foundation that allows stars to shine, but when award season comes around, when retrospectives are written, when film history is recorded, their names get forgotten.
He's from Callahan's district.
So? Yeah, I know him. He took over McGinnis' place for a while.
What do we know about him?
He looks good on TV.
That's more than I can say about Callahan.
And here's the thing that'll really blow your mind. Carl Wright isn't the only one. Right now, there are dozens of character actors grinding in Hollywood, making every movie better, and most of us will never know their names. But what if we told you about one of them?